Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Well, generating leads is a lot of word of mouth. I mean, once you do a great job for somebody, then their neighbor wants you to come give them an estimate. And he's being kind of shy in that area, but when I generate a lead, then he goes and sells and closes the deal. He shakes hands, he meets the people, because it's about creating that relationship and that trust. Because if you're going to have somebody inside your home, every single room, opening and closing windows, removing screens, you have to trust that that is your biggest asset, right? You work so hard to get a home, and sometimes it's your forever home, and you want people to respect and honor it just like you did when you worked so hard to get it. So we just help to maintain that, and the culture is really what we like to instill. And then marketing and networking, like he said, social media. We have we're part of the chambers of commerce of every surrounding city that we're in, from Conroe, city of Conroe, Lake Conroe, and then we're in the Montgomery area chamber of commerce, the Woodlands area chamber of commerce, the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I mean, my background is Spanish, and just all of those things that we do, lots of events that we do. We sponsor a lot of school events and teacher appreciations, and mainly law enforcement. Of course, we give airline discounts to our fellow airline co-workers, and really doctors, nurses, first responders. We just love giving discounts to them, because we know how much a lot of times they're underappreciated.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. Now, you mentioned something. You gather the leads through the marketing system that you have, and you hand the lead off to your top salesman, and it's up to him to close that deal. What do you find is the biggest objection, either said or unsaid, to using your type of services?
Well, we haven't had a lot of objection, but I think usually it's past experiences that they've had, and it makes them reluctant at first. Of course, with inflation and the price increases of everything, that has also had some challenges for people because a lot of people say, well, right now I can't afford to do this or that. And then we try to work with them to give them the best deal possible, especially if we're going to be there. So why not take all that green growth off of your side of your house since we're going to be there? Give them a great price since we're going to be there anyway. And it is establishing trust, because it's funny, because when I go to a home, and at first they are reluctant, maybe from past experiences, but she'll call me. It's funny because we have the funny stories, because she'll call me and say, where are you? Because I'm out doing, maybe I have 5 estimates that day. And after, in the second hour, she says, where are you? And I said, well, I'm still on the first estimate. So how could you still be on the first estimate? Well, we started talking, and and we talked about flying, and maybe he was a pilot in the past, or we just talk about our great country and where all the changes, et cetera. And then it's just establishing. And I like, some companies, they do everything online. I like to go out and shake people's hand and let them see who I am and talk. And usually they feel a lot more comfortable. But I would say the biggest objection is just past experiences, overcoming, a bad experience where maybe they killed a lot of plants or left a lot of streaks on the windows, et cetera, or cost. I would say those are the two.
Well, and you mentioned, and it's always, every business you find objections. And the primary objection I heard you say is really past experience. And then, of course, the inflation or money issue, which is across every business these days. But go back to the building trust. And how do you really build trust? I mean, I've heard you give time. In other words, it's not an in or out, It's face-to-face. But how do you know you're building trust with someone?
Well, I think for me, what's helped me is to get a common ground and give a little background of who we are. And as a veteran in the Air Force, and I think sometimes people will have questions, and then I'll relate it to flying. Like I was always, like most pilots, we're detail oriented, right? We have checklists that we don't veer from. We don't make up our own checklists. We don't make up our own procedures. We're very precise on how we do things. And I've tried to instill that on my employees. Take your time, don't rush, do a great job. If you're running behind for the next job, just let us know. I don't want you to rush this job just to get to the next one. And those details, I think people respect, and it makes them comfortable that what they're thinking, I'm talking about. And that puts them at ease.
So everything meets up. If I'm your customer, I see
exactly.
You said it, they do it.
Exactly.
That's cool. Well, I get that you're the collector of data and information. Let me ask you, what is the most important information in your business that you do collect or rely upon?
Well, of course, name, address, email, you have to make sure everything's right. But the most important thing that I listen for is their needs. What is most important to them right now? I will put in their notes, they have a party for their husband's 60th birthday on Saturday. So this has to be, the estimate has to be done and the job needs to be completed. Sometimes I'll hold places for people until I can circle back with them and say, this spot's still open for you. What did you decide? How can we best help you meet your deadline? And then I'll know their dogs' names. I'll know, because he set such a great platform, then it's easy for me to just be the other half of the extension of him saying, okay, well, we're so excited. Welcome to the Amazing Window Cleaners family. It is a business family. And we build that culture and we give our team the time off that they need, whatever their needs are. We just make it happen. I mean, we find more ways to say yes than we find to say no or make an excuse for why we can't deliver. So we like to make promises that we can make good on, and we do treat people's houses as though they're our own. And sometimes we might suggest things that they just can't afford right now, and then we say, well, you have the estimate, we'll honor that estimate, and you let us know when you're ready. One lady couldn't pay right away, but she wanted it all, and she was in a pickle, and so we just said, well, pay us out over the next 3 months. It's fine. That kind of thing. Like if you're in a big box company, you just can't veer from those rules like that. But I feel like we offer such a great product, and that if they really need it, you kind of just know your customer by dealing with them, talking to them, seeing what it is that their needs are, and then being proactive in delivering it with a sense of warmth and friendliness and company spirit is what we were taught.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, we're to the point of taking our first break for the day, and I hope you'll stay with us. We come back, I'm going to see if I can pry their secret of what is the secret to building a successful business and what they plan to do with their business as they go along. So if you will, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
From the beginning, the main purpose of the Cooperative Extension Service has been to change human behavior by teaching people how to apply the results of scientific research. By utilizing a holistic, multi-level approach, Extension family and community health programs encourage health and well-being for everyone. Addressing values, concerns, and needs with reliable science-based information, Extension programs help people lead healthier lives. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Hey, tune in to the Bridge Podcast TX Tuesdays at 11 a.m., where we are connecting commerce with community, interviewing business owners and leaders in the community, allowing the audience to peek behind the curtain of what inspires, motivates, drives these individuals to have meaningful, positive impact in this community. For more information about the show, log into irlonestar.com/TBPTX.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Weekly Business Hour, and we're having a business conversation today with Sonya and Kevin Brazeal, amazing window cleaners here in Montgomery as well as the Woodlands. They've built it sounds like a wonderful business over the past, 3 years or so?
That's right.
So if you would, share with our audience, what is your secret to building the successful business you've done so far? Share the secret. Everybody always wants to know, well, how'd you do that?
Wow. Well, there is no magic potion, I'll tell you that. But I really feel that you receive whatever you put out into the atmosphere, right? Like personality. Do people, when they meet you, do people instantly want to talk to you? Or are you standoffish and aloof where people just like, oh, this is kind of weird, you know? It's really just being, what you see is what you get, and being open, being honest, being a person of your word, and communicating. If something is awkward or doesn't feel right, it's okay to say, oh, did I hurt your feelings? Or is everything okay? I mean, I feel like it's just mainly people related, because people make decisions, not computers. It's always the person behind the computer that has to tell the computer what it's going to do, right? And so I feel like when we make a commitment and we show up and we show out, and then when we leave smiles behind us, I feel like that in itself is successful, because you can check that box from beginning to end, and we give that person all of our attention. We're not there on our phones. We're not there, going, oh, I hope that guy can clean the window great. No, we send trained technicians. They're experienced. They're background checked. We send everything that we would want to come to our home. And especially because of the experience I had, it wasn't so comfy, but I loved their work. So, I feel like reaching out to the different surrounding counties, getting your friends involved, your family involved. I have friends that stay on the internet all day long because they just are, they're consumed by it. Like they can't get off of it. And I'm just not that way. But I do know who does well in that area, so I'm part of a group that does that. And I have like 40 little soldiers every day that look at the internet, go on the Facebook pages. Every community, every neighborhood has Facebook pages. So anyway, we just have them share their experience with us, and that speaks volumes.
Well, it absolutely. The more I sit here, the longer I sit here, I sense that, Herb Kellner has graduated thousands of employees, so to speak. And he's instilled in you, I think, the secret to success in business, and made you so customer-centric, or whatever words people want to use. And it's interesting because you're so full of energy, and I wish people were in the studio with me right now to get a sense of the energy that's here and what is behind, and passion, as we would call it. So it's pretty cool. Now, you're 3 years down the road. We talked off air about talking about exit strategy, and that's kind of a no-no word. I get that. I run into that all the time. But I've got 5-10 years, whatever. But the idea is I have to have goals. Where am I taking the business? I want $1 million business, a $10 million business. Could be monetary goals. It could be other things. I want to, when I sell it, I want $3 million so I can retire. That takes care of it all. What at this point is the main goal that you seek as you build this business every day?
Well, do you want to start, and I can finish?
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, this is something really special that happened this year. Is exactly to your point. We were thinking, what can we do to grow this business to make it attractive and stand out from the competition, right? So the first thing we did was we trademarked our name. And so we own the brand Amazing Window Cleaners, which sets us up for credibility wise in the business world, sets us up for success. And the fact that if we do want to get down the road and sell the business, well, now it's more attractive because we can either franchise, you can open branches, because you actually own the name Amazing Window Cleaners, which took us a long time and a lot of money, but we felt like it was a great investment in ourselves and our business for the future, whatever that may hold. Now, we have children, we have employees that are super dedicated. Their future, their families may want to purchase the business. We may want to leave it to our children. Either way, we're always running the business as though we're going to sell it, but we're continuing to grow it in a manner that makes it super attractive, and it's profitable. For the first 3 years, we've kind of been working, not really getting paid, but it's not because we couldn't be paid. It's because everything that came in that we thought, oh, well, you can have $100 and I can have $100, maybe a couple more zeros behind it, I don't know. But we invested it back into the company because we want the best equipment. We want our team to have great uniforms that are bleach resistant and they don't show up looking like rags, like, oh gosh, these guys, they can't even afford a nice shirt, But it takes a lot of time to research all those things so that when you do show up, that you have your best foot forward and that people want you to be at their house. So we're not quite to the exit strategy yet, but it is something that you have to determine later on down the road, I think, because we're not getting younger and we're not going to do this forever.
Yeah, I had to have an exit strategy to get off the ladder not very long ago. So those things are in our thoughts. But, one thing that I mentioned earlier about people saying, yeah, I used to have a window cleaner. I don't even know what happened to him. And we get that a lot. And no matter what happens, we want that name to be synonymous with honesty, integrity, dependability. So no matter what happens, it's that same philosophy that comes to their house to clean their property and their windows, et cetera.
And it's consistent.
Well, obviously, if you keep doing those things and you're able to execute them day to day consistently, you will build a business that is very valuable. Speaking of that, you're in a service business, and one of the things that is just it's a reality, been this way for some time now, is the labor market. Very, very difficult for businesses of all kinds to find the right employees, to find the people. And the market is just, the pool has gotten so small relative to the need. What do you do as you're growing, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to hire more people from time to time. What do you do to attract the right people to your company versus someone else?
Well, you can piggyback on my answer. That would be that there's a lot of young people out there that want a good job, right? But they need to be mentored a little bit as well. And there's a learning curve there as well. And some people maybe didn't have it in their private lives. But, I like to treat our employees, we look at, to borrow a phrase from Herb Kelleher as well, as we have external customers and we have internal customers. And our internal customers, if you treat them right, i.e. our employees, they'll take care of the external customers and your customers. So I think to get good employees is a challenge, but we are been very lucky and very fortunate, and that we have great employees. And it's not just a family business; it's a business of family, and we really try to keep that philosophy. And we've been very lucky so far. But I think if you treat everybody with great respect and honesty, that you can almost have an influence on how great of an employee they become. They're not perfect maybe when you first hire them, but they become great employees. But you have to be involved with that.
Well, let me ask you now, in the back, maybe a step behind that though, the market just doesn't have the bodies, as my dad used to say when we ran into a tighter labor market. I grew up in a retail service business, so we always were hiring people for the stores and stuff and all that. And so it was an area I took a lot of interest in, and later in life really honed the skills. But how do you, or what process do you follow one, to find the people, two, to attract them to apply, and three, to hire them. What is your process?
Well, I watch them work. I will see, and that's how we hired our first window cleaner. Is I just happened to be at a grocery store with my daughter. She goes, "Mom, look, he's cleaning the window." So I was watching him, and he was so, I mean, it was like a dance with the window. I don't even know how to explain it really, but he did such a great job, and he was so good. And I just walked out of the grocery store and said, "Hey, how long have you worked for this company? Because you're doing such a great job." And that person became our first employee. But I met with he and his wife at a local Eden's Cafe, and we invited them to breakfast because I wanted to know what were your aspirations and how can we make your life sparkle and be a part of your path and your journey, because here's what we'd like to do, and you can be our original employee and the founding team, and we're going to build this wonderful company, and we want you to be a part of it. And so he and his wife went to to breakfast with Kevin and I, and we just got a feel for, hey, would this be a great guy to start off with? And it was yes, absolutely, because he was experienced of 7-8 years. And then we hired from within. We asked our team for recommendations on people that they know would do an equally great job, as great a job as they have. And when our team isn't working for us, they all work at the church or have some kind of out of business hobby, out of our business hours hobby that they do. That one of them plays the guitar and sings at the church every week, and then the other one does the sound key and the boards and the lights for, and so when you have a great faith-based team, then I feel like we have a better shot at making it in this crazy world we live in. And then everyone that we've gotten has been a referral or a recommendation from all of our hardworking guys, because we're not the first job they've ever had, but they know, hey, so-and-so's brother's looking for a job. I wouldn't hire him, but I would hire his neighbor, and here's why. I mean, so we talk to them all the time, and they'll offer, solutions for that, because we want them to work with people they like to be around.
Right. Well, referrals are obviously the best. Well,
Yes.
typically can be the best customer as well as the best employee. I've known companies that had 100 employees, and 50 of them were referrals within families. It was okay, the guy would tell me, except when there was a funeral. You lost a lot of
Exactly.
your workforce. So,
We
anyway.
we would love that to be our problem, right?
Right.
I mean, we can reschedule.
So it sounds like you've really nailed that down, though, to have that built. You've built a network, if you will, and other successful businesses that I've known about or been talked about on this program. That is one of the key things they do. Well, I really appreciate the time you've given us today.
Thank you.
And I appreciate, even though your voice is a little bit scratchy, and I know that's not comfortable, to come in, Kevin, and talk with us. And Sonya, my last question for my business owner guest is, okay, crystal ball's out, right? What do you see in 2023, maybe beyond, for Montgomery County business-wise? What is your take on, because I know business has slowed down a little bit. I mentor a group of business people in a roundtable format in our meeting recently, and they're in different kinds of businesses, and they've done very well, 10-20% increases through the pandemic, but this year they see it starting to slow down. But what do you see for 2023?
Well, I see us growing our commercial division, and our goal is to have a $1 million company by the end of next year.
Okay. Are you on the same wavelength on that one?
Well, I'm optimistic. I think everybody, with the current economic conditions, I think people want to be comfortable in their home, and people are spending more time at home. So that's where we come in and really make it comfortable to make their home clean, and they see these things that they've been meaning to do, but they've been too busy, and now they're home more. And so I think that I see a bright future for 2023.
So you see growth in your business?
I do, and I also, Montgomery County is growing as well. So I see a lot of developments going up, and they're going to need good, honest, hardworking window cleaners and property cleaners. So we'll be there for them as well.
There's no doubt about the growth.
I'm optimistic.
It reminds me, I was born and raised in Houston, Harris County, and about 20, 30 years ago, with the exception of a recession that happened in the 80s, but it was like this. I mean, just every time you drove down a street, there was something new being built, because I was in the real estate business, so I looked for that kind of thing. But it was an amazing time, and I think Montgomery County is in that same place. You know, you mentioned uncomfortable. I got to share this. This happened to me this morning. I am getting ready to leave to come to this program this morning. My wife's busy around the house. We have guests coming in the next day or two for graduation and all this, and so she's going around and she has this big giant stack of toilet paper, you know, in a big giant pack or something, and she opens to get one out to take to the half bath. And she holds it up, and we're not even talking. She's across the room. She says, "It's $1 a roll now."
Oh,
And
wow.
I just went,
Yes.
"Whoa, that's what's on your mind this morning," which I get it, you know. And then so I went and quickly moved it and put it, because I know that was going to be. So inflation is going to be a real challenge. I mean, it is right now for a lot of people.
And that's why we're doing our best to keep our costs low, and so we can reach more people that need it.
Yeah, very
That's our
important.
goal.
Thank you again, and I wish you
Thank you.
much success in the coming year and
Thank you
beyond.
for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a final break for the day, and I want to remind you that, again, email me. Send me your concerns, your ideas about the show, criticism, that's great. But particularly send me your business questions. What is on your mind? Perhaps I can even help you solve an issue. So please, that's the number 1, bestconsult@gmail.com. And we're going to talk a little bit when we come back. I have a mailbag issue I'm going to talk to. Warner sent this into us. The world seems to be moving faster and faster, and I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the changes in business. Amen. What can I do to stay up with the game? And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 ideas that I think will help you not only stay in the game, but win the game. So please stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, tune in to the Bridge Podcast TX Tuesdays at 11 a.m., where we are connecting commerce with community, interviewing business owners and leaders in the community, allowing the audience to peek behind the curtain of what inspires, motivates, drives these individuals to have meaningful, positive impact in this community. For more information about the show, log into irlonestar.com/TBPTX.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6 Texans struggles with food insecurity and hunger. And many people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. The Better Living for Texans program is here to help you learn how to make healthy menu choices, save money at the grocery store, prepare quick and delicious meals, get more good nutrition in your day, and get more physical activity. Classes are fun, friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dan Simon, Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Does volunteering at a nonprofit horse sanctuary sound wonderful? Or are you a veteran or a veteran spouse and think trying a peer group session through a local Horses and Heroes equine program might be worth trying? Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary, located in Grand Central Park by appointment only, is home to a growing number of rescued and donated horses. Visit our website at henryshomehorsesanctuary.org or check out our Facebook at Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary for more information.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com. An estimated 1 in 10 births will result in a neonatal intensive care stay, also known as the NICU. Overnight, a family can find themselves and their newborn baby in a critical situation. The Mila Foundation financially and spiritually assists families in need. If you would like to volunteer or become a monthly sponsor, please visit us at www.themilafoundation.org. Again, that's www.themilafoundation.org, because every life matters.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Second Saturday Divorce Workshop provides unbiased information to help you understand your options and move forward with your life. This divorce workshop is for you if you are contemplating divorce, in the process of divorce, already filed for divorce, or post-divorce. You will explore the emotional, legal, and financial aspects of divorce from professionals who have guided others through divorce. For more information on this divorce workshop, contact secondsaturdaywoodlands.com or call 832-375-0900.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dan Simon, Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floor. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the engineer informs me that we don't have a lot of time left today, but I want to leave you with a couple quick thoughts from that mailbag item. It's very important, in my opinion, that you stay up with what's happening. You've got to keep your company in the mix, and the best way to do that is that you always keep your mind open to change. If you take a poll of people you know, customers, people on the street, whatever, you're going to find a vast majority of people just don't like change. I contend you have to find a way to be comfortable with change to be successful in business, especially today as things continue to move forward at a very, very fast pace. I want to thank you for joining us this week, and especially want to thank Sonya and Kevin of Amazing Window Cleaners of Montgomery and The Woodlands. They shared a great story and built, from my perspective, a wonderful, wonderful business. Please put a note on your calendar to join us again next Monday right here on irlonestar.com, 11 a.m. We'll be here live. And until next week, stay engaged and always keep your focus on what counts in your business. Thanks.